November 2nd, 2017 at Circle Square Cultural Center, Hospice of Marion County, 3231 Southwest 34th Avenue, Ocala, Florida, 34474. Visit homefreeprize.com for complete rules and regulations.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, have you ever gone someplace and you said, oh my gosh, is this new? And then whoever you're with says, no, it's been here like 100 years. And you say, how is it I never knew about this place? It's a best kept secret kind of a thing. That's exactly what happened to me the first time I ever walked through Shalom Park. I thought, wow, how is it that I didn't know this was here? Because I would drive past it all the time, had no idea that it was even there. Maybe I just never looked over to the sign. And it is truly one of the most beautiful parks we have in our area. And, you know, sometimes you want to keep things like that a secret, right? But on the other hand, the kind of word spreads really quickly when you have something good. And it had something bad happen to it. Hurricane Irma is what happened to it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Robert Colen is here from On Top of the World. You know Robert as one of the managers over there. And the beautiful Summer Best. Not a beautiful lady, not just a beautiful lady, but a beautiful name.
There's Joe on the phone. I know, but I just thought you
I hear you.
the button.
I hear you. I'm going to push a button now.
Sorry.
So I'm trying to introduce Summer.
I know. I'm sorry.
Summer Best you're a spokesperson. You're an artist, and you're the creative person, right?
I can be all things.
He's everything.
Thank you guys.
Tell
for
Joe
having
to
us
call
today.
back. I wasn't quick enough. So good morning, Robert, and good morning, Summer. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you.
So were you heartbroken after the storm passed through? Did you go through Shalom Park saying what are we going to see?
Well, I remember it was Monday afternoon. Ken, after the storm hit, and we were out at On Top of the World, and Ken Colen, who's the owner and president of On Top of the World, and he's also on the board of directors of Shalom Park with me. He called me. He said, "Have you been up to the park?" I said, "I've not been there yet." He says, "It's unrecognizable." He says, "It's just truly heartbreaking."
Oh gosh, that is heartbreaking. Yeah.
There were trees down everywhere, big, massive oak trees, hickory trees, trees that have been there for maybe 100 years or more. The huge trunks, and actually one of them that are down, we're going to cut open and we're going to try to count the rings and get it analyzed to just see how. And we're going to put that on display as well.
Oh, really?
But it was devastating. Part of the fence that goes around the formal garden was crushed by a large pine tree that came down, and had walkways that were ripped up by roots. So it was devastating. But within a week, we brought in an extra crew, thanks to Philip Heisey from On Top of the World. He had a crew and they came out, and with our crew from Shalom Park, we were able to get it open within a week. So it was really great.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And are you having an event coming up? Is that it says on here that Joe Reckler is going to be part of this? We know Joe from a long time ago. Let me connect him. I think he's on the phone.
Morning, everybody.
Hey, Joe, how are you? Boy, you can be really clear.
Good morning.
Good
You sound like
morning,
you're
Joe.
next door. You're so clear.
Hi, Joe.
Are you next?
Good morning,
door, Joe?
everybody.
Where are you?
I'm at my office at the CEP.
How far is that from here? You couldn't have just come over here?
Yeah.
I probably could have, but I am back-to-back meetings. I just left the city, and now I got to go to a Parks and Rec meeting. So
what are you guys doing on October 15th? What's going on?
Summer?
Well, we are celebrating Fun at the Park at Shalom Park on Sunday afternoon, October 15th, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We kicked off this Fun at the Park idea literally about 1 year ago in October. So it's just an afternoon for people to come out, fun for family, people of all ages really, but definitely a focus on family-friendly activities. We have a boatload of things to do, including live music on the main stage. We have another guitarist who will be playing near the Koi Pond, if you're familiar with the Koi Pond. We have a prize wheel.
That should be the name of his band.
The Koi Pond?
Yes.
Koi Pond.
That's a cool name.
We will mention that to him.
What's his name?
Mr.
Danny Farrer.
Dan Farrer, yes, sir.
Oh, Dan Farrow in the Koi Pond.
I like
that.
Yes.
That is cool.
I'm going to suggest that. He told me he doesn't promote himself anymore. He has quite a wonderful history as a guitarist under a different name. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it. It's just too special because he kind of came here to retire, I think. But we roped him in, so we're excited about that.
We need to know the other name.
What's his other name?
We can't say?
You
What
have to
happens?
say it.
I never heard of him, so I don't know who this was till today.
It's Govey.
Govey. I remember Govey. Oh my gosh, Govey and the Coys. That would be so.
That's excellent. I love that.
That is awesome.
Wow, that is so cool.
Okay, then I think you're going to have to get credit for some of that.
Oh, me?
Well, you came up with it.
What do you got?
Maybe.
What kind of goodies you got?
So he'll be playing, and we do have quite a few items on the prize wheel. I would really like at some point to thank some of our sponsors because they do make the day happen for us, and volunteers, and of course our staff, our wonderful staff and team, working hard to put together a day that's free admission for everyone to come.
Yeah.
And I just think it's something that we're proud to be able to put together as truly a gift to the community. Just fun at the park, as Mr. Colen would say.
How many times have you had somebody come to Sloan Park like I did? How many years ago I was 15 years ago, probably.
Yeah, we opened 13 years ago, so we could have been there 15 years ago.
What?
It opened to the public in 2004, but it really didn't. It was really open to certain people.
I thought I was working at Park Place when I discovered it. Maybe it was shortly after I left Park Place.
You could have. In 2001, it was really ready. We just didn't open it until 2004.
Oh, okay.
Ah, okay.
We're moving into the 13th
So
year.
I was trespassing.
Yeah.
It's been done before.
Well, but anyway, it was a long time ago. But do you still have people who say I didn't know this was here?
We certainly do.
Yeah.
And that is part of the reason for the outreach, to have these events. We are open 365 days of the year. But hello.
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 Love
But it's
Batman,
nice
sure.
to have the extra.
Let me show you what the,
we
what's
have
she
a
saying? Hello.
friend over here.
There
Hi.
we go. Little Batman.
Hi.
Batman.
We do enjoy having the opportunity to have these events in addition to being open every day of the year, except for the occasional hurricane. I suppose we did have to close down for a few days there. But it's great to have new people out, new ages, and people who maybe don't always live in the southwest side of town to come out and have a great excuse to just enjoy the day. So
It's a beautiful place. Take the drive. Oh my gosh, it is a hidden treasure right in our own community.
That's right. And if you think about it, it's a 44-acre park that's open to the public for free. There's a horticultural section with a formal garden. We have a large pond with huge koi fish that are in there. There's walking trails that are miles of walking trails, and it's just this beautiful olive tree promenade there, gazebo, pavilions, and of course clean bathrooms, which is important.
And when we were there, there was a wedding that was being held. So
Well,
you also
and
have
that's the
different
cool
events
thing.
there.
yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Joe.
The cool thing for me is I have been in a wedding at the park. Just before my wife passed away, the last pictures that we had taken was at the park,
Gosh.
and I've gone out there several times and just enjoyed the beauty of it, and even just laying in the grass and watching the sky and the clouds go by. So it's a special place.
So you're a perfect choice.
It is a real gem.
You're a perfect choice for an MC, by the way. You got kind of a Johnny Carson-ness about you.
Oh,
Just- you
I've
just
never
have to-
heard that.
You just have to do that. Oh, really? You just have to do that golf swing thing, I think.
Yeah.
So
I'll
what?
work on that.
So what? So if I'm in the audience, what will I see? Obviously, music.
Well, I'm glad you asked. You will see
Oh, I see a big map.
everything from food trucks to obviously the live music on stage. The main band will be Humans in Disguise. They are an Ocala-based group. Maybe
I'm one of them.
Well, yes, you are. Which alien type are you? But they'll be on the main stage, and then of course we mentioned the other guitarist. The food trucks will be a big draw. They'll open up at 1 o'clock for people to enjoy the food and cold ice cream and so forth.
Nice.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office will be sending their mounted unit, so we'll see lots of horses, and they're helping with all the parking, which we really appreciate.
I love that. Isn't that just
yes.
a great thing to see as mounted policemen? I don't know why.
They tell me they're the most photographed unit in the entire Marion County Sheriff's
Really?
Office. Well, it sort of.
Oh,
makes
they
it,
are.
yeah.
They should
They
put
are
out
fabulous.
a calendar.
Oh, well, there's an idea. All these ideas just coming from this
Fundraising.
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. like the
Do you
firefighters.
do you need fundraising to put the park back to where it was?
Well, we always welcome it, but most of our money comes from private donation that came from.
Really? Is there like an honor thing? Like if I walk in there and nobody's taking money, do you have a box I can put a couple dollars in?
There's envelopes there that you can send.
We
Money
should
to.
all do that when we go there.
Yeah. Well,
It's
that'd be
encouraged.
Yeah.
It's it's a quiet encouragement, but yes.
nice. Right, and there, people. If you look at the benches that are there, there's 38 benches, something like that. And there's names on some of those benches, and those are from fairly large donations that people made, and they usually put the name of a past loved one.
That's sweet. Joe, tell me what you're going to be doing on the stage. What are you introducing?
Well, I Unfortunately, I missed the volunteer meeting that was had, so I'm waiting on.
We're going to fill you in, Joe.
Robert and Summer to tell me what to do. So
we expect for Joe to do what Joe does best, and he knows how to entertain and engage. At the last event that we had in February, the event before the last event, when we had a major children's entertainer on stage, the kids were up and doing motions. We even had Mr. Ken Colen doing motions with his hands, and spelling words out loud with his body. It was amazing. With his body, with his arms.
Oh, man.
You had to be there. I think we have a photograph. No, it was wonderful.
Heidi said the superintendent of schools, Heidi Mayer, was there
yes,
as
she
well.
was.
Oh, wow.
She was. It was a big crowd. This one we don't expect to be quite as large as that. I think we would expect somewhere in the 1,500 people attendance range. It's always a guess because we don't sell tickets. We just promote as much as we can on a shoestring. And,
Will there be a children's area?
Oh, yes, ma'am. The whole place is a children's area for sure. But we call it kind of vendor area, but it's going to be called Fun Avenue. And we'll have face painting. That is a very, very popular
nice.
station for sure. In fact, the last event we had to turn people away at the very end because our face painter, Tanya DeRose, she does a fantastic job.
Oh, this
She's
is
fabulous.
a sweet lady.
She's amazing.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
she painted
We
and
love
painted
her.
and painted, so she will be there. So if for no other reason, come to get your face painted. If you get there, stand
I've
in
never
line.
had my
so
face
good.
painted.
She's
I think
so
you should
good.
do
Do you
that.
think I should do this?
I think you guys should.
No? Robert, have you had your face painted?
No.
Joe, have you had your face painted?
I have.
Did Tanya do it?
No. Well, I don't know. I've had it done twice, so.
You don't know.
But
Was it one
I
of
don't know
those-
if Tanya did it.
Wasn't it like
The
a,
first
a
time.
drunk
It's been a
night?
while ago. No.
Family show.
Are you going to have like crowd participation, like when Joe is emceeing? Is there going to be something on stage where he calls people up from the audience to do stuff and you give out prizes? Or
That's a possibility. Most of those things will happen during the band breaks. In fact, that's when the mounted unit, will come and
Mounted posse. I love that.
They are a
Another
posse,
band
man. They will come and come by the stage and do a brief introduction and
Yeah,
perhaps let the children pet the horses for a few minutes. But we only have 15-minute breaks for the band. We also have Grandma Glorious coming.
and who is that?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know who Grandma Glorious
No,
is?
No.
What does she do?
Are we supposed to know her?
You are.
How come?
If you don't, you will.
Joe, do you know who Grandma Glorious is?
You will.
Doesn't everybody?
There you go, Joe.
No, everybody doesn't.
What does she do?
She's actually an employee of On Top of the World. She works in the human resources department, and she is loves to get dressed up, and she always has a costume over the top. In fact, if you go to shalompark.org, you'll see photographs of her on stage.
I'm looking
She has
for
a
it.
big hat to look for now. It's on it's under the calendar Fun at the Park link if you can find it. But she just entertains the children. She's written several children's books of her own, and she will be
how wonderful.
in the Pergibo entertaining children on the hour, every hour, or on the like 1:15, 2:15, and 3:15. And she's very, very engaging. So if you have small kids or ages, I'm not sure what age group exactly, but ones that still like to be read to, she engages the story and gets kids excited about literacy and reading good books.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So between the face painting and crafts, we'll have crafts.
Oh,
We have,
crafts too?
Yes, ma'am.
Take and make
Well,
and take crafts,
it's a little
or
hard to-
craft vendors?
No, we do everything. We have already set up several volunteers, have been gluing lots and lots of paper plates to big tongue depressors to make little fans.
Oh,
And
nice.
the kids can decorate those in different ways, and then after they have their fan, they can use it as a fan, or hopefully not something to hit Robert with. I don't know, but fun things just to carry around with memorabilia from the day. And we have
nice.
the Early Learning Coalition of Marion County is coming out with different crafts.
Grandma Glorious is
Nice.
cute.
Did you see her?
Yeah, I found her. Yeah, she's
You like
cute.
everyone in our HR department.
Oh, yes, you do.
You are really. You're a good-looking group. That's what I think. You really are.
And Joe, will you have a special outfit you'll be wearing for the day?
Oh, we need to talk about that.
Well, I haven't. I've been thinking about it, but I haven't figured that out yet.
We might get you and Grandma Glorious together for a chat.
Oh, I like it.
I like it too. Okay. We also have the Ocala Civic Theater coming with the table, and they will have different activities for children and probably some adults to participate in as well.
Oh, how wonderful.
So the list goes on, and you know how it is when you come down to the final 10 days before an event. And, there's
Sounds like fun. Sounds like a fun event.
people are kind of lining up every day to get involved. So, yes.
So It's a free event, just to recap
Absolutely.
everything you've
Absolutely.
kind of said already. And
The event October 15th from 1 to 4.
Do you need anything?
We need
Any
volunteers.
Volunteers to
We could
do?
still use some volunteers, yes, sir.
What will they be doing?
Mostly hospitality.
What does that mean?
The little things, even just to make sure that the children stay in line as they're waiting for face painting, and we don't get those lines too long. If they get lost, or they don't know where the restrooms are, or they need to find the food trucks. Usually the food trucks are easy to find. That's where the aroma carries a long way. Or if they're just interested in finding out where Grandma Glorious is, we'll show them a map when they arrive, but sometimes it's good just to have somebody who knows where to go. We have our welcome tables at both ends of the park to help people get around. We'll have a program available, but there's always a good need for people just to be a little bit informed and share information.
And Robert, will you have a booth there to promote the hospice house also that you're building?
Oh, you'll be
We haven't talked about that, but
You'll be closing in on the
another
deadline.
Good idea. Yeah. That's an interesting idea. We hadn't thought about that.
That's a Robert question.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get with that.
See, Robin is filled with ideas.
She is. This is great.
You leave here, you have some ideas. I don't think I gave you any, did I? Well, she's got a good one.
I think you
Offline, you
did.
gave us great ideas.
You have another poster there called the Leaf Series.
Yes, ma'am. This is a new series that we just kicked off. We unfortunately did have to cancel the one for September, but if you want
What happened in September? Teasing.
I think we've been through
Oh, show me
that.
the poster. Don't put it down yet. Let me make sure it gets on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks nice. That's a handsome poster.
Well, thank our marketing department for that. They do a great
Yeah,
job.
that's nicely done.
LEAF has just come to stand for Learn, Explore, Appreciate, and Focus, and something we're trying to do monthly on the third Friday, not every single month of the year, but as we can, as weather permits and so forth. But these are really kind of set out for us to just do a free session again for people to come out and sort of understand the outdoors a little bit better and understand how our environment affects us and what we can do in the environment and get outdoors. I think it's really a chance to learn just how to appreciate the environment by just featuring the series. We have seasoned experts in different areas. The one for October will be on October 20th, and it's all about a focus on butterflies. I think it's like all things butterflies.
Sounds like she studied butterflies for a long time.
Yes, sir, a master gardener, and there are several parts of the park that particularly attract butterflies, and so we'll learn about if you
I've
want.
seen those parts.
Yes, sir.
When you walk through the park, you
They
can
come
see
out.
the butterflies.
They
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah,
If-
I think it's cool. I always wonder, how do you do that? I want to do that.
Well, and that's what she can tell you.
Do the butterflies and the hummingbirds go to the same flower?
Sometimes. Well, again, I'm not the expert. Do you know, Robert? We can learn that on October 20th at 10:30 a.m. Just show up and wear comfortable shoes and take a chance to learn about that. The one following October will be November the 17th, and this is kind of be just in time for the holidays. We're saying decorating for your family feast. The idea is that, I don't know if you know Robin Fannin. She lives here in Ocala, but she is just a person who loves decorating tablescapes and foodscapes and things like that, and she's going to come out and show us how you can decorate your Thanksgiving table or your holiday table to be
Oh,
beautiful.
how wonderful.
And you can find out more about her if you look for RSVP Robin online. She has a really neat blog.
RSVP Robin?
RSVP Robin.
That's her
Yes,
site?
sir.
That is cool.
So we're excited about that because, especially if you're doing outdoor dining, then she's going to really put a seasonal focus on her displays. So we could hopefully have something for every holiday coming up. And December, we're still shuffling with that a little bit, but hopefully we'll have December, January, February, March, April, we're hoping, on the third Friday. And then as we hit, June, July, August, it just gets really hot. So we take a little different focus during those times. We need to put a water splash out there or something.
Oh, there you
A
go.
water splash. Yeah.
When you have fun at the park, are you going to have some docents there that can actually guide people through the trails, because you have those wonderful, wonderful trails through the gardens, and then you have the reflecting spots where you have the quotes and things down there that people can read.
I don't think we're planning to do that, but it's interesting you say that because on October 26th, actually, I'll be leading a walk and talk tour of the park. We'll talk about the history of the park, the meaning, the symbolism that's there, and we'll also have an arborist talking about the different plants in the park. And that's a fun walk. It usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And like I said, that's October 26th from 10 to 12. And, if anybody wants to come, they can, or they can register through Master the Possibilities.
What is the most common question you get about the park?
Who funds the park? Where does the money come from, or does my tax-paying money pay for this?
Oh,
and the answer is
that
no, it's
question.
all private money, and it all comes from basically Sidney Colen, who was the founder of On Top of the World, put the money aside to pay for the park as a gift to Marion County.
And way back when we first met you, I asked the question that I thought would be the most asked, which is why is it spelled S-H-O, not S-H-A?
That's a great question. So Sholem is the actual name, and Sholem is named after Sidney Colen's grandfather. Sholem Shankarov was his name, but
Isn't that something?
yeah.
But we pronounce it Shalom, so we're mispronouncing
it's
it,
the same.
basically.
So it's almost like a proper name with the same meaning. They both mean peace in Hebrew, but Sholem would be maybe the Yiddish version of of Shalom, but for a person's name.
And Joe, since you are involved in so much in our community, will you be making yourself available on that date in case people have questions about the CEP or the other endeavors that you're involved with?
Well, I can always anytime answer questions and whatever people have, but the focus is going to be on the park that day. So I can answer a question or two, but pretty much we want to enjoy the park and everything and all the festivities are going on there.
So what do you do? What do you do to prepare to be an MC? Do you have to get silly or giddy or something, or you don't want to get up there and be serious, right? What do you do?
Well, it depends on the event. Like every Wednesday, I'm the MC for our 1 million cups, and that's pretty much a serious event. So I'm not sure, whenever summer gets me into the costume that I'm wearing, I'm not sure what I'll have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so you don't know what kind of costume it's going to be?
My brain is churning
not
right
sure
now.
yet.
My brain is thinking very quickly right now. Maybe by the time we get off the air, I'll have some ideas.
Do you want something form-fitting?
I like it.
Well, we are really excited to have Joe. We really are. He does a fantastic job. I know he did the Ocala Culinary Festival, and that was every night for how many nights, Joe?
I think it was 4 or 5 or something like that.
Yeah, it's always just nice.
It was a long.
That was
a long event.
It was a long event. You did a great job, and for everybody
Thank you.
throughout the community. Can I run through our sponsors really quickly?
Absolutely, sure.
This is really part of the reason. I know that the park is funded through private donations and so forth, but to put together these events, it really does take an army of volunteers and staff and team and sponsors. So I'll run through quickly because they are so important. Mike Scott Plumbing, which I know is advertisers on the air here, Advanced Waste Services and Waste Management, Edward Jones Investments, specifically Kelly Moore and John Boyette, Seminole Feed, Chili's, Easy Street, Uncle Mattio's Pizza, Walmart, Sam's Club, Cole Fan and Light, Renaissance Bank, Mr. B's Big Scoop, PDQ, True Value of Ocala, The Ranch Fitness Center and Spa, Ocala Civic Theater, On Top of the World, of course, anonymous donors and our team and amazing volunteers. So that list is growing. I said day by day, if anybody else would like to volunteer some food tickets or anything, we're still, the doors are still
So
open.
it's a giving community.
Absolutely.
It's one thing after bad news upon bad news.
Here we go, good news.
It's always good news. It's just so many more people doing things that are good. It's just the bad people make the news. That's the hard part about it. That's the hard part about life and doing news. Joe, good to hear from you again. Thank you for being on the phone with us today.
Thank you, Joe.
Great to be here and look forward to seeing everybody at the park.
Yes, sir.
Robert, again, as always, good to see you. You guys are awesome over on Top of the World in summer. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Do you lace up that shirt? Are those lace holes?
Am I unbuttoned?
Yes. Yes.
I think it's very stylish.
It
It's very
is.
classy
I love
looking.
it.
It's fun.
I mean, do you have a lace that
mind
goes
is
through it? Or
wandering.
am I embarrassing you?
This is Howard Stern.
Doesn't that look like laces? Like
He's
you
a
would put
manly
laces
man.
in there?
I'm going to check later.
It is laced up. Don't worry.
It looks wonderful. I'm just saying.
I feel like I'm on safari today.
But what the three of you contribute to our community is amazing. Joe for what he does, Robert in summer. You guys are really outstanding, and to bring this super park to the community and to have a variety of events, it is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Come on out.
We hope to see you there. Yeah.
Need directions? Call what number?
Well, go to www.shalompark.org.
All right, very good.
Just up Southwest 80th Avenue.
Yes, Joe, Robert, and Summer, thank you.
Thank
all.
you so much.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. More than 170 people in Las Vegas hospitals struggling to recover from Sunday night's massacre, including Aaron Cotter's father, Doug, who wasn't located by his family till the next day.
The security guard, and he said, let's go identify this guy in the room. And as soon as he took me in there, I was like, yeah, this is my dad, and I had tears of joy.